So, a couple things. One of the things, and I've talked about this a lot, I definitely have a tendency of getting tense sometimes with things that, maybe I'm not comfortable with. Tension will slow you down, and tension will get you to waste a lot more energy than is necessary. I guess it's like, I don't know, maybe going somewhere, like going to the city for the first time and finding some random road and you just got your driver's permit. That's going to look a lot different and it's going to feel a lot different than you driving for 20 years, knowing the city by the back of your hand, maybe not having been there before, but knowing the approximate area, being an experienced driver, all of those things, right? So those things will go away with time. However, you guys have to recognize that there's trusting of jiu-jitsu, trusting yourself to execute it, and also not wasting precious energy, right? Unnecessarily. Can we achieve things by tugging and pulling and, driving and tensing? Sure, absolutely, but there's a cost. There's a cost with that. Sometimes that might be worth it. Like, let's say guy's got a little finger in and I have a rear naked choke. Yeah, sure, I could squeeze a little extra, make sure I get it. Especially there's 10 seconds left on the clock, or his buddy's coming or something, or I gotta put him to sleep because he's trying to get to a weapon. Whatever the scenario is, right? There's a time and place for that where I need to maybe put a little more oomph into a certain thing. But why would I do it unnecessarily when the technique itself is powerful enough? I don't need to. So just keep those things in mind. Let the structure do the work for you. Okay. Trying to think if I can use something here. These chairs are a little heavy. Okay. Let's see. Wait, here for a second. And all right. Can you get on the knees for a second? Hold this, the handle. Extend your arm all the way out. And I want you to keep it up. I do not want this thing to touch the ground.
Gotcha.
Touch the ground, you're going to give me 50 push-ups.
All right.
That makes sense? Ready? I'm going to let it go. Lower it. Don't let it touch the ground. Don't let it touch the ground. Yeah. A little higher. How does that feel?
I mean, it does feel great, but
It does feel great. Yeah, put it all the way up on the top of your head and let this go stable. Lock your wrist. Yeah. How does that feel?
better. Balance.
Way better. Yeah, it's balanced, but what else is it doing? What does it have? Does it get support from your muscular structure or from your skeletal structure?
Skeletals, it's just resting through the arm.
Absolutely. Just lower just a little bit. What happens? Starts to get heavy.
Right.
Right? You're certainly losing balance, and now there's a lot more of a weight at the end of that lever. But it's getting a little more uncomfortable, a little more cumbersome. Right? Lower a little more. Even more, even more. What would you do to save it, to make it easy? For $1 million, you had to hold this thing for 2 hours. Where would you hold it?
Up high.
Up high. Absolutely. Right? So, the angle, of how we're holding something, how we're supporting something, how we're using our structure to achieve a certain means is super important. And when someone is, when I need to carry someone's weight, where would I want it to be then? Would I want my muscular structure to do the work or my skeletal structure to do the work?
Skeletal.
100%. Right? Now, you're staying pretty calm throughout that whole process. What would that look like if you were holding here like this, like after an hour, 2 hours?
Super wobbly.
Yeah, probably shaking, be stressing, like really trying to hold everything down, like this is for $1 million, like, right? What if you were just holding it like this? Would you need to do that? No, probably not. Right? You're just holding it. It might be a little uncomfortable after a while, but your muscles are definitely working way harder here than they are just here. This structure is doing the work for me. Okay, so the same thing here in this situation. Come here. where I have the single leg on Rivers, and he's kind of going to sprawl. I'm going to be careful with my back here.
I got you.
Still, but okay. So now go to sprawl a little bit. Okay, now not only does he need to try to get his legs away from me, right here, but that may not be an issue. He may now need to like cover my head with his hips a little bit. Because now, put your hips over the back of my head. Yeah, but now what that does is it kind of pins me to the ground. Here, can you move your hips?
Yes.
Yes. When I elevate my body and I put a weight on him, can you move your hips now? I can keep you in place and then circle around you. Well, he can do that same damn thing to me. And whoever gets there first will typically win. So put your hips on the top of the back of my head. He's at the end of my lever, right? And you like square your hips off a little bit here. Yep, there you go. Now I feel like that's really kind of pinning my body, right? He's putting pressure on my back, driving me straight into the floor, which is certainly slowing me down, might even pin me to the floor. So what the heck do I do? What I'll do is I'm going to try to get underneath their center of mass, okay? And this is what I'm going to attempt to do here. Here. I'm trying to circle. He starts pinning my body, like square your hips down to the floor. There you go. Now, I'm going to grab a little bit lower. I'm going to grab the shin here, and I'm going to build up my body here. Okay? Now, I'm going to peek out. I'm going to get my head between his legs, and I'm going to get my structure this way. I want to keep my shoulders lined up with my hips. I will not do this because I will break my back. But if I'm off left or right or leaning forward or back too much, I'm going to lose connection with my opponent. Okay, so right now I'm holding up, pretty heavy guy, but just the structure of my body's doing the work. Now I'm going to turn out. Since I have his leg already and I don't have the other leg, right? I'm going to turn over to my right. I'm going to sit here. Come up, and I can finish this way. A bunch of different ways I can do it. If I'm holding here this way, I can pop him up, pop his leg and get him to flop over, and holding the leg the whole time and then come up. I could sit out this way, get my head out, and get right back to that shelf as well. But right now, all I want you to do is work on getting underneath your opponent. Do not lift with your back. I'm scooping through, so I have a single leg. I'm grabbing the shin. I'm building up my body, building up my base. I'm posting on that arm, posting on my leg, elevating my head and hips. Oftentimes, a person who has their hips and head higher than that of their opponent will win the position. I'm holding it here. He's still trying to pin me down to the ground. I can't move as well. No problem. I'm going to scoop underneath his center of mass with proper structure. My head, my shoulders are in line with my hips. I'm supporting his body with my structure. Okay, I have his leg. I'm going to turn out, scoop the leg, come up. My head and hips are higher than his. He should drop to the floor, and then I finish. Cool?
Yeah.
Sounds complicated. It's a lot easier than you think. The key thing is not doing this. Like, don't lift with your back. I am sliding through. I'm trying to have that race to get my butt underneath my head to support it. I'm not lifting him up this way to get it. If you are doing that, I'll have you do that on Kyle, and you let me know how it goes. So let's go to the scoop first. Here. Now, I like snaking my arm through, and I kind of create a little bit of a lever here, okay? The other thing you could do is some guys like to do this. They'll hold here this way and scoot out this way and come underneath. The main thing here is my position, my structure, right? My head over my hips, my shoulders over my hips, they're aligned. If I start leaning back, I'm gonna fall back and I may lose connection with him. I have to be the one who dictates what happens. On the turn, I have his leg on this side, yeah? I'm gonna turn over to this side and I'm gonna try to stop his leg from touching the mat. So as I turn, I lift it up. Why? Can you give that to me? We'll be starting like that. So if I go, say, get a single on me, now you're gonna scoop underneath me. So, yeah, so I see how your leg's kind of in the way. Right. Put your leg out this side. Yes. Now you open up that. Beautiful. Now, if you turn towards this side and you let go of my leg, or you allow my foot to touch the floor, let's see what happens.
Like this?
Yep. I can push off of it to elevate myself. And now we're back in a standing single. If here's scoop, yep. Yep. As he goes to turn, your position is not great. Yep. Head. Yeah. Now I feel like I'm just being supported by you as opposed to. Yeah, this is good. Now, as you turn towards me to try to put me on my back, lift my leg off the ground. I can't get back to my feet. If my foot touches the ground, I can pop myself up. If this is off the ground, I can't get back to my feet. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. So just make sure that we're scooping that leg and not allowing that thing to touch ground. Cool? Yep. Yes. Yes. Now finish it. Where do you want to take it? Go for it. Keep the shoulder in the hip the whole time. Yep. Keep it. That's freaking lovely. There's a lot going on here. This is not like an easy move for a lot of people to kind of do. Jiu-Jitsu guys tend to really struggle with it a lot. And again, it's one of those things that really is dictated by feel. Like so many jiu-jitsu moves, it's dictated by feel. It's dictated by connection. And it's dictated by a lot of your trust in yourself and to execute the technique that you need to. The other thing that we can do here, and this is crucial in a lot of different ways, is I can overhook. So if Rivers is trying to take me down here with a single leg, so yeah. So I'm gonna get an overhook here. I'm either gonna grab my own leg. Some guys will even circle over here, Rivers. Some guys will even grab their own ankle this way to kind of wrench. Or they grab the inside of their leg and start kind of rotating this way. Try to go around my back. Can you scoop underneath me? No. No, because I'm off at an angle. When I'm square like this, you can get underneath me. Yep. When I'm off to the side without an overhook, circle. Yes. But when I have an overhook, this is acting as both a frame and a lever of control on Rivers' arm. You feel that? Mm-hmm. Okay, so what the heck do we do? We cry and ask for mercy now. Right. So from here, I have a single. I'm trying to circle around. Rivers has this overhook. And as I try to circle around, he's kind of wrenching my arm, okay? Now, I'm going to grab the end of his ankle, right? Go ahead, try to crank my arm. And I'm gonna come in here. The problem is, keep that overhook. I can't really finish it. My arm's kind of stuck here. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna lean into him and throw this out of the way. The way I like to explain it is almost like the grand finale, like when I'm playing the guitar, it's like, that's kind of what I'm doing, right? It's like my guitar solo move, okay? I'm leaning into him and I'm limp arming out. Limp arming out, not tense arming out, okay? This is staying like a wet noodle and I'm sending him in the direction where I want to take him. And it's almost, you'll feel there's almost the more pressure and energy he puts into it, the worse it is for him. Because I'm robbing him of his energy. I'm actually like getting him to help me. Where do you want to send me? I'm taking three ways that I can deal with energy. What are the 3 ways? I can block it, I can deflect it, or I can send it on its way. Here, I'm going to get around to the ankle, holding it. I'm going to step and set up a roadblock here. I can't finish getting around to his back though because of that damn overhook. I'm leaning, drive into me, drive into me, drive into me. And you'll see guys, when a good wrestler does this, you'll see guys literally fall face first into the mat. So that's why I'll drive into him because, first of all, no man wants to be dominated. So I'm here like this. You're not going to do that to me. I'll show you. So I start driving him here this way. Rivers is going to lean into me. I'm like, oh, I got to put more energy in him. He limp arms out and he sends me the limp arm out. And I just got sunned. And it's the same thing on the feet. I think we may have worked this with some of the police officers actually. But if I'm here, let's say I get an overhook here, right, and I'm leaning in, right, this here. I'm gonna lean in, right, and I can go to his back. Same kind of idea. Whether it's a single overhook or whatever, I'm here this way. He's, trying to raise me this way. Now I can take it back. Same idea. Little guitar solo move. All right, so keep that nice and limp. I'm leaning into him. He's driving. Feel once that energy comes back into me, send it. And the nice part about this move, which is much better than the standing position, is I'm isolating him first by stepping behind that heel. Okay. If I do it from here, yeah, sometimes, but usually what happens is drive into me, and I go here. He can almost do that to me, depending on what happens. I'm already a little bit behind him here. Yeah. So now, sometimes he'll either let go on his own from driving. Now I'm like, oh, cool, I'll just take him down here this way. Or he doesn't want to give this up, driving. He knows I want to go to his back. Lean. Now I go. Cool. You can create force with your body, but this thing has to be limp. If there's any tension in this arm, he's gonna stay with the hook. Okay, I gotta slip out. Slip out. Same way how a limp leg works. It's very floppy and curls out. Same idea on this limp arm.
Okay,
So right now, exactly, put your shoulder in my hip. Yep. Hold this in place at the knee.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Raise your butt just a little bit more. Lean. Yes. Yes. Now you're telling me where to go. You're directing my body much better. Yep. And then use your shoulder and try to send him on this. Yes. So wrench his shoulder down before. Like you're trying to get his shoulder before. Now try to go to his back with this. Can you do it?
No, I can't.
Okay, cool. Now we're fine. Yeah. Okay. Yes. That's it. So, in Jiu-Jitsu, right now, I'm sure you're already experiencing this in a lot of ways. I need a certain response in order to do a certain thing. Right? If you're not blocking it competently, I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna go right through you. You need to set up a wall. You need to lock the door. You need to do something for me to have a response. You're like, don't come in my room. Like, you didn't lock the door. I'm like, I'm walking in. Right. You gotta do something about it, right? You lock the door. Now it's like, okay, now I need a solution. So his response are directly related to your response. You guys are basically having a kind of a contentious conversation, right? You guys are having a conversation. Words that you use, he's going to kind of use against you, or he's going to respond appropriately based on what you're saying. You guys are communicating right with your bodies, essentially. Okay, so here I'm actually going to continue going behind you. Drive your shoulder down to the floor. Okay, now she's preventing me from going to her back. Lean. Now I go. What you went like this, a little bit, but you also did this. How you went up. She has so much pressure. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lean and I'm gonna slip out.
Okay.
then get mine.
So I was like kind of going up first and
You were talking exactly. So you're kind of, again, stroking that guitar this way.
Okay.
So the big finale. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit, right? So Jared, I would say from here, turn your shoulder, open up your chest like to the floor this way. Yes. Now, watch this. All I want you to do is this up.
Yeah.
Lean.
Okay.
And now see this space down here?
Yeah.
That's where your arm is gonna without. The reason why it feels clunky because there's a little bit of tension in your upper body. So you're gonna lean.
Okay.
Come out that hole. Okay. Lean with your shoulders. Okay, still shaking. No, that's okay. So can I feel you? Maybe. Let me see. Lean. One hand. So if I hold it here, it's going to be tough for me to get out. Maybe I'm going to start. Can you get your leg out? So lean your leg a little bit towards the end of the lever. So lean this way so we can't untie it. So if I stay up here, lean, drive. Like, yep, no, that's okay. But like drive your shoulder down to the ground. Yes, that's it. Now he's really giving me a hard time. I can't circle around here.
Right.
I'm gonna lean. I'm gonna even use my hand just as a posting, just to lean this way.
Okay.
Keep going. Let's fight.
Okay, so you're not pushing him, you're just pulling your arm out and he falls.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm just
Okay.
pulling it out. I am directing him a little bit in that, but I gotta feel what he's doing. Did that feel different what he was doing?
Yeah. I felt like I was kind of shoulder launching.
Yeah, it's not that because he's connected to your arm. Right? It's like I'm here,
Yeah.
and I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Now you're going to loosen your arm, and now throw it like towards Jared.
Okay.
So it's almost like you're almost giving me a false support system. I'm leaning on you. Now you're going to remove it. Yes. And I fall into that open space.
Okay. That makes
It's like a trap door.
Yeah.
Grab, hold it up with this.
I was trying to grab your leg.
And here's what I want you to do. I want you to turn like this. If you're trying to drive your shoulder, yes. Now, lean into Lindsay. And now, arm to your left. Yes. And now you're behind. That's it.
Like you're trying to do
Now,
this.
you need your energy in order for it to work
Like
better.
literally.
So
Yeah.
it's the pressure.
Only thing that you're moving is your shoulder.
Exactly. This is a beautiful example of using your energy and sending it on. If you want to go there, cool. Come on.
Okay.
By all means,
Yeah.
here's the door.
Yeah, you put intention in.
Get myself. Get my leg.
Oh.
Yeah.
So from here. So yes. So I'm like really leaning now. If I'm leaning over this way, like I can't really put a whole lot of pressure on your shoulder. Do you feel like a lot of pressure? I'm gonna lean on you. Yeah, you could probably still go to my back here, actually.
I think you're getting me off now. Yeah.
Look how far you're here. Can you go to my back here? I'm catching myself because I'm still in my face. Now I'm gonna give you a hard time. So now here's what you're gonna do. Lean into me with your shoulder. Yep, now lean arm out.
What's here?
Yep, now lean. Yes!
Yeah.
That's it. So
So
the response to
you're
Rivers,
framing as you lean?
a little bit, yeah, a little bit. But also, just turn your shoulders out a little bit when Rivers is trying to get that single leg and come out. But you can. There was a very famous wrestler, one of the past multiple world champion, who did exactly what you did, and he did this. He would go. So what you did is actually a good response based on what he didn't give you the proper response. But that, you actually just found your way through it. That was good. As I talked about before, I'll repeat this before we go live next time. Again, we're always trying to work the moves. We're giving our training partners enough of resistance so he can play and work his way through it. I'm not handing him any gifts, but I'm also not going crazy trying to win the world championships and giving him a hard enough time that they're never going to get it. Right? So it's like, I want to reciprocate the type of energy that I would want so I can work my way through a problem. It's like, you're learning math. Cool. Let's go right to calculus, right? It doesn't work that way, right? So little by little, we need to crawl, right? Stumble around a little bit, walk, jog, run, sprint, all that stuff. It's gonna take a little bit of time. So, especially in this move, like you can compromise your back, your shoulders, all that stuff. We don't want to get injured. Then we're just kind of, what we're getting, the juice is not gonna be worth the squeeze. So, we'll work our way up. I want you guys to solve the problems with technique and not with like fight energy. If that makes sense. And I guarantee you'll be way more technical that way. Okay, you're going to learn a lot faster. You're going to learn a lot more, and that's it. But guys, that's looking really good. These are not easy moves for people to learn. We're going to continue on this for a couple more weeks. And again, against other guys that they're more jiu-jitsu based, they don't work a lot of this stuff. They are now. Jiu-jitsu guys are finally realizing, maybe I should learn how to wrestle. Maybe I should learn how to take people down properly. And we're seeing the art advance because of it. But I certainly want to be, on the trajectory with you guys as well. I always kind of have stressed that, but we'll continue with it. These are some nice technical moves that are going to help you get that top position if you want it. Cool?
Yeah.
Good stuff, guys. Have a good night.